Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Kenny Lamons here with Medicare Millennials. Today, I've got kind of a top list video. I want to share with you guys 4 great reads, 4 good books that have had a profound effect on me, either professionally, personally, spiritually. Look, when we are trying to build our own agency, we're in the sales industry, oftentimes we can feel like we're on an island or we feel alone and isolated. And we have to be creative in the ways that we learn new ideas from people, that we get inspiration, encouragement, motivation. And we have to stay diligent to do our own professional, spiritual, and personal development. And one of the ways we can do that is by audiobooks or physical books, which all 4 of my suggestions to you today, you can do in either one. So I'm going to briefly go over each one. This isn't a book review. I'm just going to tell you the name of the book, the author, so you can look it up and why I enjoy it, why it helped me in my business. Okay, so let's jump right into it. So the first book on my list, if you're not a Christian or you're not open-minded to that type of thing, you may not like this first book as much. It is a faith-driven book, but it's called The Purpose-Driven Life by Rick Warren. It's been around for a while. I didn't grow up in church. I didn't grow up in Christian circles. I am a Christian now. Most of my life, there was little to no meaning. Everything was in my past was just kind of pretty worldly and materialistic. It didn't have a lot of deep depth or meaning to it. And so for me, The Purpose-Driven Life was a very practical read as somebody new to faith on how we can live our entire lives, not just you don't have to be a pastor of a church in order to have a faith-driven life, hence the name, The Purpose-Driven Life. It's very practical. It's written in bite-sized chunks. So actually, at least I know on the audiobook, instead of being broken into chapters, it's broken down by day. So if you're you comprehend stuff quickly, you could read multiple days at a time. But if you just want this more like a daily devotional, it's broken down by day. And so it's motivational, it's inspirational, it's practical to your business, your personal life, your faith life, purpose-driven life. Very good one. Second one on my list, and this one was a huge perspective shift for me. I already had a disdain from a young age for regular W-2 hourly employment. I've always struggled with authority, and it was no different in my professional life. When I got out of college, my first job, I knew I wasn't going to last in the accounting world as a W-2 salary employee. This book was one of the big pieces that changed my perspective around money, time, and work. And a lot of you may have heard of it. It's called The 4-Hour Work Week by Tim Ferriss. Now, Tim Ferriss is very prominent still today. He wrote this book quite a while back. He's got a podcast, so you can go watch some of his YouTube videos or his podcast if you prefer to do that. But kind of his masterpiece, so to speak, that put him on the map was his book, The 4-Hour Work Week. And it's exactly what it sounds like. He describes to you very practically and very technically why we do not have to trade 40 hours a week to get the money and the success that we necessarily desire. And we don't have to trade our time for that. And he goes through how he achieved actually a 4-hour work week that was sufficient to provide him the money that he needed to live the lifestyle that he wanted. So even if you think it's kind of silly to only work 4 hours a week, that's fine. It's more of the big picture perspective shift on understanding the time value of money. So that's a really good one. The third one, this is for all you Grant Cardone YouTube followers out there. I know he's a bit rah-rah. A lot of people get a bad taste in their mouth about him. I wouldn't say I'm a Grant Cardone fan per se, but I did read the book, The 10X Rule. And if you just need a kick in the behind, like you need a book that kind of paints the picture of what it takes to be successful, after you read this book, if you don't feel like you can run through a brick wall and there's not a fire on your behind for you to get out of bed and get to work and quit making excuses, I don't know there's something wrong with you, okay? So 10X Rule, it is a bit of a rah-rah book, but it's helpful. It was very helpful for me. It motivated me to push myself beyond these low limits that we often place on ourselves and really put in the time and effort. to grow a business. It's a lot of work to be in the insurance business. So this fourth one is the most technical book on the list. If you stuck around this long, I'm grateful for that, because I think this book could really help a lot of you. Listen, we sell a relatively low commission product. The Medicare and health insurance space in general is all about the renewals, which is beautiful. You've heard me talk a lot in the past about how life insurance, particularly final expense insurance, can be a great complementary product to help increase our short-term income. This book talks about something called fixed indexed annuities. I've talked about that a little bit. That has never been my expertise, but I've been studying it and selling the product for actually a number of years now, just not ever in high volume. And it's always been a blessing to me in hindsight, because when I've had these opportunities, you make a good amount of money. It's more like a real estate commission as opposed to a Medicare commission. You can make $1,000, $2,000, $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 commissions, just depending on the situation. So the book, the technical book, if you don't know where to start, or you know a little bit and you want to dive deeper to really be educated on this book is great. It's called The 7 Benefits of FIAs for Retirement. So FIAs are the acronym for fixed indexed annuities. Man, it lays it out in black and white, both for an agent to learn from, why it's good for your clients, but actually the book is written for consumers. So not only can you read it and learn a lot about it, but you can use it as a tool for for the type of client that may want to think deeply about it before they look into a product. You could even share this book with them. And that's by Sean Ruggiero, Ruggiero. That one might be a little tougher to find. I think it's on Amazon, but the others you shouldn't have any problems finding. Hey man, I would love to see any of y'all's suggestions. I'm always looking for a good audiobook for my window time or something to read at night before I go to bed. So if you've got a book, whether it's just something to better yourself spiritually, personally, physically, and of course professionally, please share it in the comments below. Check our website, MedicareMillennials.com, if you'd like to reach out and book a consultation.